Wow, what a start to the Australian Open. Welcome to Coffee Break Tennis. Today we're going to be recapping day one of the Aussie Open, in which we saw Rafa Nadal take his friend Victor Estrella Burgos to Olive Garden, where you can eat all the breadsticks you want.
It tastes like merda. That's not good. You know what merda is?
He only wanted 3 this time. Didn't have much of an appetite. But hey, there's always next time. Dimitrov and Kyrgios had some breadsticks to give out as well. American tennis, well, last night you heard the American dream. Last night was the American nightmare. If you thought the U.S. Open was an indicator of what women's U.S. tennis was going to look like in the future, well, it certainly didn't apply down under. There was definitely some upsets, including a U.S. Open champion and a U.S. Open finalist out in the first round. Also, danger Dimitrov. Look, Dimitrov won a good old-fashioned 1-2-3, 6-1, 6-2, 6-3, but I saw danger. Didn't apply in that match. Didn't hurt him. Didn't have quality enough of an opponent for it to hurt him. But I'll tell you guys why it was still a bad sign for Grigor that there could be danger up ahead when he plays someone good like maybe, say, Nick Kyrgios. Hey guys, welcome to Coffee Break Tennis, the fastest growing, most talked about, most exciting, sensational tennis talk show in the world. I'm your host, Matt Bradshaw, the original Fed head, possibly the biggest Roger Federer fan in the world. Also, a very objective tennis expert analyst. Coffee Break Tennis is brought to you by Crunch Time Coaching. Crunch Time Coaching is a tennis player's best friend, a tennis player's ultimate resource. I'll put it up above. You can go over to Crunch Time Coaching and subscribe right now if you want to work on your tennis game. So let's get into it. Let's talk about this American nightmare. So let me just go down the list. Falcone, Kevin King, John Isner, Sloane Stephens, the U.S. Open champion, out in the first round. Sophia Kenin, Taylor Townsend, Jack Sock. What did I tell you guys about Jack Sock, guys and gals out there? I called it, didn't I? I said if he's sloppy at all, Yuichi Sugita is a tough customer. He will win. He did. Who else? Risky Riska, Brady, Bellis, and of course, Venus Williams. Venus Williams in what was probably the worst first-round draw, although, I don't know, we'll find out tonight. Alex de Minaur, the Demon, against Tomas Berdych. That might be the worst first-round draw of all if de Minaur is on fire and Berdych is struggling like he has been in the last half a year or so. Maybe more than that now. Anyway, so back to Bencic and Venus. So thanks to Emily Lord Draken, who sent me this on Twitter. Roger Federer's parents were in Belinda Bencic's box watching the match, and as you can see, Roger's mom actually got quite emotional. And who was it who said it? And then another Twitter. By the way, if you guys want to follow me on Twitter, it's at CoffeeBreak10s, T-E-N-S. Twitter wouldn't allow me to fit the entire word tennis into my name, so at CoffeeBreak10s. If you guys see something you think I should talk about or know about for the show, tweet it over at me, and of course we can always watch the matches together and tweet it live. That's always a lot of fun. So Rob said it, maybe something's rubbing off, and maybe we will see this effect. Obviously, the Federer family is invested in Belinda Bencic, and she's from Switzerland und die Schweiz, so that's understandable. But maybe, just like when we see the young guys go over to Dubai to train with Roger in the offseason, they always seem to do well. By the way, speaking of young guys that go train with Roger in the offseason and then do very well, Luca Pouille, he lost first round. Didn't train with Roger in the offseason this time. That was last year. Last year he was doing good. This year, bad start. Anyways, so kind of like how we see that rub off on the young guns. They train with Roger. They have a better year than they've ever had before. Maybe Bencic playing with Roger at the Hopman Cup, hanging out with the Fed family, the whole Fed family. I'm sure they went out to Olive Garden maybe after the Hopman Cup victory. Roger's mom choking up a little, getting a little teary-eyed after Bencic had a big win over Venus. And look, this match, Venus was good. Venus played on-fire stuff at times, right? Venus hit a lot of great shots. Venus was very aggressive, but Belinda Bencic was almost perfect. I mean, she moves really, really well. She plays like Roger in the fact that she is super high tennis IQ and takes the ball very early on the rise. So she might not be the most powerful female tennis player. But when you take the ball that early on the rise, To the opponent, you can't tell the difference. It feels like somebody's hitting a rocket at you. And it takes your time away, and you get stressed out, and it's really, really hard to deal with. And obviously, it was very difficult for Venus. So very sad to see last year's Australian Open Finals, Venus Williams, out. When was the last time we didn't see a Williams sister after the first round of a major? I'm not going to call her yet as my pick to win, but Bencic is now my favorite to win. I hope she wins. I really enjoy watching her play. She reminds me of the Swiss Maestro Roger Federer in the way that she uses the feet and the hand skills and the high tennis IQ. Take the ball early, attack, 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 win, win, win. Watch out for Bencic. Another finalist to go down in the first round, Kevin Anderson. Lost to Kyle Edmund. Now remember, if you guys watch my draw show, I said, hey, Kyle Edmund would be one of my hot picks, guys to watch out for at this tournament, but he had that ankle injury, right? He rolled his ankle. It looked gruesome against Grigor Dimitrov over in the Brisbane, was that the semi-quarterfinal? I think it was quarterfinal. Yeah, because Dimitrov lost to Kyrgios in the semi, and then Ryan Harrison, Kyrgios beat him in the final. Ryan Harrison building on that early success. I said it was a really good sign that he got to the final in Brisbane. Ryan Harrison came through a very tough 5-set match over Dudi Sela. I understand there was some drama in that match where the Israeli fans were getting very rowdy, and Ryan Harrison, as we all know, he's a smash the racket hothead, and he lost his temper a little and was getting very frustrated, but he was able to calm down and win that match in a 5th set. I believe it was 6-2 in the 5th set, so very impressive from Ryan Harrison. But back to Kyle Edmund and Kevin Anderson. So apparently Kyle Edmund is very healthy because he took Kevin Anderson, the U.S. Open finalist, out. First round. So guys, watch out for Kyle Edmund. Another interesting match was Diego Schwartzman, who quarterfinals at the U.S. Open. I think he lost to, who did he lose to? Did he lose to Anderson or did he lose to Pablo Carreno Busta, who, by the way, won last night. PCB is through. But Schwartzman, crazy match, 11-9 in the 5th. Against Dusan Lajovic. And if you guys remember that, back at Wimbledon, that was a match where Roger struggled a little against Lajovic. I think it was the first or second round. And I think it was first. Second round was probably that one with Dolgopolov. But anyways, Lajovic, he took Federer to a tiebreaker too, if I remember correctly. Although Federer won in straight sets, because remember he didn't drop a set at Wimbledon. A lot of people said, uh-oh, danger for Federer. Look, I told you guys, that Lajovic guy is pretty good. Pretty good. So Kyrgios, 6-1, 6-2, 6-4, he comes through. Rafa, triple breadsticks, of course. They went to Olive Garden, 6-1, 6-1, 6-1. And Dimitrov, the old 6-1, 6-2, 6-3. Love that because it's in order. It's kind of fun. But danger for Dimitrov. Now, the Aussie Open app is not showing me stats for the Nadal match. So I'm sorry I can't share the stats with you guys on Nadal. But we can look at stats from Kyrgios and Dimitrov and put it on the screen. Let's start with Kyrgios stats. Kyrgios, very clean, 16 aces, 1 double fault, 73% first serve in. That's a good sign. That's a really good sign. In fact, you know what? If I have it, I'll put it on the screen. But recently, Rod Laver said that Nick Kyrgios, Rod Laver, the Rocket, he said Nick Kyrgios has the best serve in the world. So 73% first serve in, 76% win on the first serve, 62% win on the second serve, faced 2 break points, saved them. 33 winners. The fastest serve, 200 kilometers. I always forget how to do the math on that. But I believe that's like about 130. 120s, 130s. So pretty good. At Brisbane, we saw Kyrgios hit much higher. I think he got as high as like 137, 138. Scary stuff. So now, a slight caveat, as I'm fond of saying. Rafa, really easy match. I mean, he played a 37-year-old guy from Dominican Republic who's like a clay court specialist. And Dutra Silva, he's also like a clay court specialist. So these wins, not as big when you consider these guys would just really prefer to be playing on clay. Let's look at Dimitrov, though. 7 aces on 5 double faults. Serve in, 55%. His opponent, 59%. Novak got 59% in. So even though Dimitrov won, his first serve went in less off. Now, he only faced 2 break points, same as Kyrgios. Numbers way worse than Kyrgios's, right? A meek 55 for Dimitrov, but he's still winning 87%, 58 on the second, whereas Kyrgios we see a 62 win percentage on the second serve. and the fastest serve, almost the same as Dimitrov. I'm not worried about pace on Dimitrov's serve. I'm worried about what we all saw in Brisbane when he lost to Kyrgios. Why did he lose to Kyrgios? The match was competitive in the rallies. He lost to Kyrgios because the serve let him down. Too many double faults, not enough first serves in, not winning a high percentage on the second serve. Even though Dimitrov had a 1-2-3 easy win to start this off, this is a bad sign for when he runs into someone like Kyrgios, who he can meet. And you Rafa fans out there, watch that second set if you didn't see the match. I know it's a 6-1, 6-1, 6-1 triple breadsticks trip to Olive Garden victory for Rafa. But Estrella Burgos, 37 years old, didn't really play in the big time until his late 30s. So quite a story, right? This is a guy who could have gave up. I think they said McEnroe was on the broadcast saying that he was 34 when he first played an actual professional tournament. He was in the minor leagues up to then. And that really shows like a lot of mental grit to stick with it. And it kind of inspires me, I'm only 31. Maybe I can go try to qualify and go to Olive Garden with Rafa and get triple breadsticks. Hey, I would be honored to lose Rafa 6-1, 6-1, 6-1 in the first round of a major on the biggest court. That would be awesome. Anyways, so watch that match. In the second set, Nadal is up 5-0, trying to take him to the bagel shop. And Estrella Burgos plays this insane game where he eventually breaks Rafa's serve to make it another breadstick. So, hey, credit to you, Burgos. That's it for me today, guys. Like I said, watch Dimitrov. We got to see him again. His serve, danger signs there. He's going to have to fix that if he wants to beat any of the top players. Also, hey, I made a video on this channel, Coffee Break Tennis channel, about this super genius computer that can predict the champion of the Australian Open. And I think you guys are going to like who it picked. So click up here to see that video. And if you want to know who's playing on day 2, I got the schedule for you over here at the Crunch Time Coaching channel. So watch an episode of Coffee Break Tennis over at Crunch Time Coaching by clicking here. I suggest you watch both of them because they're both awesome videos. Of course, I will tell you my top 5 matches to look out for on day 2 of the Australian Open. I'll give you a hint. One of them involves the Swiss Maestro, Mr. Roger Federer. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.